And Joe, can you tell me about, people's and your definition of the American dream and what freedom, actually means to you?
People always talk about the American dream. Well, what is the American dream? Who's to say what your dream should be? My dream is different than everybody's because I don't really care for material items anymore. That's about ruled out with me. I don't even have a vehicle to drive. It's on foot, or I call somebody to come get me. And, so, this is my dream. This is the way, like I say, this is the lifestyle of the rich and famous because I am rich in my own way, richer than anybody because I don't have anybody to answer to. I have everything I want to eat, everything I want to do. I can amuse myself up here in so many ways. It's, ridiculous. But, and people that live down below, flatlanders, yeah, it's just like watching a rat race. It's just like when they put the rats in the box and they go running around like they're crazy. Hell, I'm not like that. I can walk around up here at my own pace, do what I want. Nobody can make me go faster than I want. Nobody can tell me what to do.
In the age of technology, the electrical grid is expanding. And the world is getting smaller. For some, finding peace of mind means hiding out where no one thinks to look. To escape, they redefine off the grid.
I don't think you could ever have too many weapons. They help me sleep good at night. They help me feed myself. So that is a very favorite tool of mine. My gun there on the sawbuck is a .62 caliber flintlock. It's a smooth bore. My dad always had a 20 gauge, and now I got a 20 gauge, and I can put shot in here and shoot turkeys. I can put a round ball in here and shoot a bear. It's a good little gun for that. Keep you fed. That's the main thing.
For the past 10 years, Bear Claw has lived beyond the grid in the Clearwater Mountains of Idaho, surviving almost entirely off the land. In this region, it's now black bear season, and Bear Claw relies on hunting to deliver the protein he needs.
I'm gonna head down to this creek. It's warming up a little bit, and the bears really like to come down here to the water. My hunting career started when I was a young fella shooting birds, and to me, it's not a day-to-day success, it's the whole time. And the more you hunt, the better you are. There's always something out there. Gotta have adventure, right? Bears really like the grubs. They get big and fat this time of year, and they're really hatching out, and it makes good food for them because it's got good protein in it, and I'll be darned, look at that now. Got some fresh bear claws right here. When a bear comes up to a tree, especially a big old mother tree like this will show you the home territory. And what they want to do is the younger ones down here, and you can even see the baby bears have been clawing like their mother has. This is to mark their territory is what they're doing. And then this big old daddy comes by, and he can reach way up there. Gives you an idea how tall that bear is. That's a good 6.5 footer. There's even some way up there. That's a good sign of we're in the right place to find us a bear. Looks like we're getting closer to what we're looking for.
In the middle of Lake Michigan, 18 miles from the mainland, lies a world outside the grid.
Titus! Where you at, boy? Come on! Come on! Come on, boy! Come on, Titus! Come on, boat's leaving, let's go!
It's traditional that I always give him a baptism. He hates it. He was a hater. Get in the boat.
Surrounded on all sides by the fresh water of Lake Michigan, Dan Burton's home is within the Beaver Island archipelago. A series of 9 islands, several of which are completely uninhabited. To survive all the way out here, Dan must make do with limited supplies and whatever he can find. So he often embarks on salvage missions in search of materials he can use.
Back in the early days, you know, when there wasn't all the railroads and stuff, the waterways were the main route. So you had ships passing by here every day, all the time. You know, there's treasure all over. You just got to be out there and willing to look for it, willing to dive in and get it. One of the reasons we're out here today is we've had a lot of success. This has been a great spot. Keep our eyes open.
What's that right there?
All right. Man, it does look like that's a potential right there. Down there. It looks like it was I had to guess, an early to mid, maybe 80s snowmobile setting down there. Either somebody had mechanical problems or it probably got bailed off on the ice and nobody went back and got it. Hang on, Tidy. You can always use the snowmobile. I say we grab it. Finders keepers, losers weepers.
During winter months, Dan usually relies on snowshoes to walk across the ice to other islands. A snowmobile could afford him safer passage to find resources in the area.
There's a good chance that snow machine will run. It's a different type of fishing. But we'll pull a snowmobile off the bottom.
Gets a little tight up here. I'll go ahead and give you a little maybe, I don't know. We open up a little more right around here.
In a world below the grid, Joe Ray has spent the last 2 weeks underground. Today, he's headed for daylight.
This next bend, we'll go to the left and we'll be there. This is another one of my exits here, and I have to go out. Not that I really like going out, but I have to come out. So, we're on for a walk. Coming out of the cave really makes me sort of nervous. I don't feel safe out here. I mean, it's always dangerous. You never know what's gonna come. Something falling on you, something chasing you. And once I get outside, anything can come from anywhere out here, and you never can tell what's gonna happen.
Living below the grid, Joe Ray rarely leaves his caves, only heading outside when absolutely necessary.
We're gonna go down here.
This trip is a mission to find valuable materials he can sell in hopes of purchasing ammunition for his rifles.
This is the shaft we'll be going down in right here. Looks like it's got shafts going off on both sides, and these shafts could actually go for miles. You know, I mean, there's no telling. There could be a gold mine down there, and there might not be down there.
The region Joe calls home is the Ozark Mountains of north central Arkansas. This area became a hotbed of mining activity in the early 1900s.
There's not very many people that like to go down in shafts, but that's the difference between me and them. Shaft, that's just a cave that goes straight down. Yeah, it's a ways down there. I almost want to jump in, but I know I probably couldn't make that.
say so?
Well, a lot of people might not think so, but you just have to look at everything, think of all the things that can happen and plan for them, and then plan for what you're not even thinking of. Because the first thing out here that'll keep you alive before anything else is common sense. And if you don't have no common sense, you better keep your ass out of the woods. So, let's go.
Oh, tick, 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 tick. Oh, tick, 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 tick. You want some? Pepper, no. Oh, tick, 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 tick. Tick, 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 tick. Hey! No. Wait! Rooster!
All right.
In Onion Creek, Washington, Doc and Jeannie Leverett work every day to sustain their life above the grid. And some days, that means getting by on limited resources.
I got 2 eggs.
Yeah, she's working overtime. Maybe she heard we were in a food drop.
Here.
You got 1 egg.
Is it cracked?
It's cracked, but it's still good. We can eat it. Right here.
I can go ahead and get it.
I'll get out of this junk and then I'll see what I can come up with.
Okay. We can eat the rooster.
Yeah, he's already done his job anyway.
Out here, Doc and Jeannie Leverett live 25 feet above the ground in the dense forest of eastern Washington, near the Canadian border. In their treehouse, they don't have enough power for refrigeration. So 1 year ago, they bartered for a chicken and a rooster. Today, Doc's hoping another trade can provide the renewable food source they need.
We've been wanting to get a goat, but out here on the creek, we're not dealing so much in money. We use the creeker currency, whatever you have on hand, and I prefer it. The thrill of the trade is much more satisfying to me than to hand over some money. We're coming up on my little nursery here. Every one of these saplings out here have value. Here's a good one. This one is a fir, and that's what he says that he wants put up there is fir. They're a quick growing plant, good tree. It's like finding money on the ground. So now I think we need to get 3 or 4 more. That ought to be worth a good trade.
One step closer to a goat.
Any luck over there?
Nope, no snowmobile yet. Maybe a rock and a log.
18 miles from the mainland, far outside the grid, Dan Burton is attempting to salvage a sunken snowmobile from the bottom of Lake Michigan.
I'm sure it's here. I don't see anybody beat me to it.
No. There aren't too many people, but I salvage this thing.
To lift its 400-pound frame, he's recruited Mike Weed, a barge operator and master diver who's lived on the island for 13 years.
What was that right there?
We're over here?
Yeah, right here. Look at that.
Oh, I see blue. Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm on.
Anchors away. I'm gonna get my suit on. It'd be nice to skin dive this one, but as cold as the water is.
Yeah.
I'll go down, check it out, give it a little tug and see what the situation looks like. Looks like she's sitting pretty good on the bottom.
It's intact?
Looks intact.
Okay.
She felt heavy.
That's fine. We got lift bags.
In order to extract the snowmobile from the lake bottom, Dan and Mike will utilize 2 lift barrels, filling each with compressed air. Their first step is tying off a 1,000-pound test line to either end of the machine.
Well, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, you see why I wanted to go get it?
Yeah. We'll sink both those lift barrels.
Okay.
We'll put one at each end.
Okay.
We'll take a tank down and fill each one. Now we graze it nice and gently. We got to be careful when we're coming up. We don't want to get underneath it. Don't get anything hooked on it.
Okay. All right, let's lift this baby up, man.
In the Clearwater Mountains of Idaho, Bear Claw makes his home beyond the grid. His nearest neighbors are mostly ranchers and loggers, making their living off the land.
Hey, neighbor.
What's up?
I was just up the mountain and I saw some fresh bear sign.
Up by your place?
Yeah, up by my place. You got time to grab a few dogs and maybe we can catch a bear?
All right, let me get my stuff together.
Hey, Bandit. Hey, buddy.
Come on.
Let's go catch a bear. Come on,
Come on,
guys. Come on, guys. Up here.
Whenever Bear Claw and Chris hunt together, they split their bounty 50-50 to ensure nothing goes to waste. Chris's hounds are trained to chase their prey into a tree when they find it. And in the dense forests of Idaho, it's nearly the only technique that provides a clear shot.
So when I came down this morning, I saw some bear tracks up here.
Yeah.
I figured we could maybe start up here in the draw.
Okay.
Come on, get it going. Get it going.
Been digging right here.
A squirrel don't pull a log open like that.
Pretty fresh. He's here somewhere.
All right, let's go get him. Hey, wait a minute. They're on a hot track.
Yeah, it could be.
It's okay. Dogs are sniffing. Get him, boys.
They're after it.
Let's get up after him. Getting close to him now.
Well, it's time to take off and see how far these tunnels go.
70 feet below the grid, Joe Ray has descended into an Excelsior zinc mine, closed and abandoned in the mid-1900s.
This shaft here is an old one. This is probably one of the largest zinc mines up here at one time. Let's go check it out and see what's happening. Well, here's some of the old drill bits from the days gone by. and went up and it turned sort of a... There it looks like.
Down here, Joe Ray is searching for valuable mineral ore he can sell in hopes of buying rifle ammunition he needs. The most common mineral he extracts is a white globular formation called smithsonite, also known as turkey fat.
Hold on a second. Look at this. This is probably a miner's pocket pistol. This is an old gun. It'd be like a 32 short or something. This could bring me another $100 or so. Let's go on a little further and keep going.
I'm gonna need some help sinking this guy. Grab my hand here.
Okay.
Grab my hand here. Put the weight.
Outside the grid, in Lake Michigan, Dan Burton and master diver Mike Weed are attempting to salvage a snowmobile from the lake bottom. This abandoned machine could prove vital to Dan's survival during the cold winter months ahead.
All right, man, you got your snowmobile, buddy.
Woo-wee. Let's lift this thing up, Mike. This will be the perfect sled for the island. Twin cylinder. Looks like most of the parts are there. Look at it, even got a windshield.
There you go.
Easy, big girl. Look at that. Yep, this is me.
Give it a pull. I don't think it'll start.
Cord's rotted off. I got all that at home, though.
Little wax, man. You're good to go.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, I'm gonna go see a man about a goat.
In Washington, Doc and Jeannie Leverett work every day to sustain their life above the grid. And today, that means bartering with their closest neighbor for the renewable food source they need.
Dennis! I don't want to get shot. Dennis!
Yeah,
Oh,
over here.
hey, it's Doc. Don't shoot.
We'll see.
Howdy. How we doing?
Good.
I come to talk to you.
Sure.
I
How
need
you doing, Doc?
Good, good, good. Got some saplings. Can I take a look at the goat? Because I kind of want to...
Absolutely. So,
Come on in.
This her?
Yeah.
sure. Go ahead.
This is Meg.
Oh, hey,
She's
baby.
a Lamanjan boar.
Yeah? How much you get out of her a day?
A little bit under a gallon.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, here's what I got. You said you want to plant some new saplings, so
Yeah.
I've dug up some saplings.
Okay. What else you got? Because I could use more than just trees.
Well, if you got anything that needs a fixing?
Got a generator that I ripped out of the motorhome. I just know where all the wires go. So get it going. You got yourself a goat?
All right.
Absolutely.
Good, good.
When bartering, Doc often utilizes his abilities as an engineer and mechanic. For 16 years in the Navy, he learned to build engines and elevators on aircraft carriers and cruisers.
This is a micro version of what I used to work on when I was in the military. Get a generator going? In any engine, there's just a few things you need. You need spark, so we're hoping that these spark plugs are good and the coil is good. You need fuel. That's what our tank's for. And you got to have a rotation. And if you have all three of those in the right combination, you'll have a running motor. I was kind of going in a bad direction as a young lad, getting in lots of trouble, lots of police activity, and the Navy pulled me up and showed me the right directions. I would almost say it saved me. A lot of the lessons that I learned in the Navy are helping me out here. The concept of problem solving and self-reliance and using what you have at hand, that's been one of the greatest tools I've had out here. We have the rotation. We lost our choke. That spring in there is not doing its job. Since the choke is not going to cooperate, I'm going to make a manual choke out of a piece of electrical tape. It can stay there. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's what Doc does. Oh, I take hunks of junks and make them sort of work.
Get after them hound dogs.
In the Clearwater Mountains of Idaho, Bear Claw and Chris are closing in on a black bear sow in the area.
I can hear them up yonder barking.
Yeah.
After following bear signs to this region of activity, they've released their hounds in an attempt to tree their prey.
Getting close to me now. Hey, bear's up there. See that?
Yeah.
Let's go get that thing.
That ain't a bad bear.
No, that ain't a bad bear. I think we got the angle we're looking for. He's just got to lift his head up a little bit from that branch. There's a little piece. Lift it up a little more. We're going to get some bear down here. Sorry to take your life, my brother. This is what mountain men do. Now comes the part of skinning them.
In the Clearwater Mountains, Bear Claw and Chris have taken a 200-pound black bear. After working together, they'll split the meat to ensure nothing goes to waste.
My dad was a butcher, so I really enjoy this. Skinning and cutting and fleshing and tanning and... I learned a long time ago from my father that we use every bit of this meat. It's just right that we use the whole bear.
You're a little bigger. I put a saddle on you. Make this trip a lot easier.
In Onion Creek, Washington, Doc Leverett has successfully bartered for a La Mancha bear goat, the kind of renewable food source he needs to sustain his life above the grid.
Jeannie!
Yeah?
We got us a goat.
Oh, look at her! What was her name?
Maddie.
Maddie. We can take her for a test spin, I guess.
Okay, come on, Maddie. Maddie.
You got her?
Yeah, I got her.
Well, she kicks me. I'm gonna kick you back.
Easy there, Maddie.
This is gonna take a little bit of practice.
Okay. There's a joke here, but I think I'm gonna leave it alone, okay? Oh,
Hey, there we go.
that was a good one. Good girl.
Hey, come on. You're gonna get some. Not gonna be able to get much more out of her, I don't think.
Okay. I got something that I didn't have to pay for because Mother Nature provided for me, and then I picked up the change with what I had in my head. It don't get any better than that. If every deal I made went that way, life would be grand.
Right. It is pretty good.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
We got a milk-producing lawnmower.
Yep, rock on.
It's like hunting animals, hunting something to sell. Just watch and look, and you know, the more ground you cover, the better off you are.
In northern Arkansas, in an abandoned mine shaft 70 feet below the grid, Joe Ray is searching for a valuable mineral known as turkey fat, one he can sell to buy rifle ammunition.
Yeah, this is just all falling apart. I thought that was going to be a good place. Nah, nothing there either. This is a nice little piece here. There's a vein of little quartz that runs right in this. It's real small. Oh, maybe I got something right. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Thought I saw something. Oh, hell. This is just fantastic. This is a pretty good sized piece of turkey fat. The nodules are what makes them valuable. When you've got these that's got all these little baby nodules and the big nodules, that's what the collectors go crazy for. They go gaga for that. I've seen small pieces of it go for like 80 and 90 bucks, and this is probably 3 or 4 times bigger than any that I've seen. I'm gonna take this piece of turkey fat and these other little pieces of crystal I got here, and I'm gonna head on out and take over to my mineral buyer later this afternoon and barter for whatever I need. Well, it's raining. This is gonna be super slick getting out of here, fellas. So y'all probably gonna need to put the cameras away to make this a lot safer for everybody. So it's time to get on up and let's get out of here. With the snow we get and the rough terrain and the non-groomed trails, it's important to have a proper snow machine.
Far outside the grid, on Beaver Island, Dan Burton is attempting to repair his newfound snowmobile after a successful salvage mission on Lake Michigan.
The sled was in pretty good shape. That's one thing we have an advantage of is, you know, it's all fresh water, so we don't corrode as fast. Kind of got the carburetors temporarily wired on until I get the air breather and everything else in it. So we're still sucking air in this carburetor. We're gonna just try to tighten it up a little bit temporarily. A sled like this that was running would be at least $500. You know, it was just sweat equity. You find it, you fix it. Hopefully you don't have to put too much money into it. That's what we do on Beaver Island. That's what life's all about, is looking at what you've done at the end of the day. Come on, girl. Come on. Leave it there till winter.
come over here, fix and go up and see my friend B, see if I can sell all the minerals and stuff I've got here.
In the Ozark Mountains, Joe Ray has emerged from below the grid after discovering valuable minerals in an abandoned mine shaft. Now, he'll attempt to sell them and earn the money he needs to buy rifle ammunition.
Yo, B, how's it going?
Long time no see, Joe.
Yeah, it's a long ways over the hill.
When you coming back to society?
I've got my own society up in the woods. They don't bother me near as much. I don't have to put up with people. That's the way I love it. Going underground, I don't have to put up with anybody.
Yeah,
It's a whole new world down there. I found a small crystal vein when I was down in the tunnel.
Smithsonite. This is definitely worth a little bit of cash, so, I mean, I'm looking at maybe, I don't know, 150 bucks?
You know, 200?
175.
Okay.
175 sounds like a good deal. How about 180?
Hey, that'll work great.
This way you don't have to owe me any change. You be careful going back over the hill, you hear?
Give me a hug before I go.
Yeah,
I'll
heart
be
to
a
heart.
while.
With the sale complete, Joe has enough money to buy the ammunition he needs for the month to come. And though supply runs like this require him to leave the caves, as soon as his business is done, he quickly recedes back below the grid.
Finding stuff is great because, I mean, that's what I live off of and that's what supports me. I mean, it's not like going to an 8-to-5 job, sitting in a cubicle looking out the window going, what am I doing here? And I don't miss none of that at all. But I can always go out, dig, and find something that I can sell and make money with because that's what you got to do up here to survive.
Me and the dogs are gonna eat good tonight.
On the ridge lines of the Clearwater Mountains, beyond the grid, Bear Claw returns to camp after a 10-hour hunt.
Bear meat's kind of strong. Yeah, you eat bear at night, you wake up growling in the morning, so. You know, I learned when I was a kid, my mom always said the squeal was the only part of the hog that got away. You use everything you can. We certainly don't want to be wasteful. Lucky enough, I was raised by good folks. It's ready. I can hardly wait. Man, oh man. Best meat in the whole wide world tonight.
Hiding from civilization, far beyond the grid, even a solitary man can't get by on his own all the time.
I'm so fortunate to live here with all these fine neighbors. When I get hungry and want some meat, I go over and ask them to hunt. It really helps in a real serious way.
On the edge of the world, pride isn't an option.
You give us some milk, we'll give you some goodies. It sounds like a fair trade, don't you think? Huh?
And relying on a few trusted allies could be the only way to endure.
Today was a good success. You never have too much ammunition out here, trust me.
For those who choose this life, a little help can go a long way.
Living in an isolated area where you only have a handful of neighbors, you have to work together. Even in the toughest of times, you gotta band together. I mean, that's what it takes to survive.